Ladies and gentlemen, wow, this is we already got 280 people. That's gonna be like a big number for me to get in right away. This we were waiting for a big news event to happen. When you lose Lex, he's lost Lex. Look at even Lex Friedman, who interviewed Zelensky in a podcast, coming out and saying that it was a mistake what Zelensky did. I don't know what Zelensky is doing. He's crashing out. He just went on Fox News. How does he think this is going to work? You've lost U.S. funding if you don't do that minerals deal. How are they going to continue this war? What, with Europe? Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen now Zelensky. I'm going to go through all of this stuff. Here, we'll go through what Trump said and everything like that. I'll just wait for more people to get in. Zelensky got owned by Lex. Lex is even done. When Lex is out, he's like as moderate as you can get. I have no clue. They had a conversation apparently 40 minutes before the viral clips where JD Vance confronted. It seemed like Trump and JD Vance were doing a good cop, bad cop thing. That's what it seemed like from me. But yeah, apparently Zelensky was just being a real ass throughout the entire... He like had these weird looks on his face. He was being like a bitch. And then he called JD Vance a bitch, apparently. Mike is cutting. Oh, shit, hold on. Testing. All right. Hopefully that fixed it. I just plugged it in, plugged it into a different port. Didn't notice a problem with the mic. Yeah, some people have it's when I plug it into the same ports. Yeah, you have to reopen it and then it fixes, I think. The mineral deal was for Elon Musk. It doesn't guarantee security. Yeah, I know that was what Zelensky was arguing about. He was pissed off that it didn't guarantee. I mean, the problem for the U.S. is we don't want to be in the same situation 3 years from now, where we have to fight, give Ukraine more money. Nobody wants Russia to reinvade, but it's like, what can we do? Our hands are tied here. There's legitimately no path forward. There's no path forward without... I think people are trolling me, honestly. You can't get that land back without a negotiation for Ukraine. There's no way... I don't think they're going to get that land back anyways. Zelensky thought he could come in and boss Trump around, but Trump put him in his place. Yeah, but I mean, Zelensky has the whole kind of bravado where all of Europe is on his side. So he thinks he can just go do stuff and mess with people. And I mean, he came in there. They said he acted like an ass. His behavior was bitchy, and it is what it is, man. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of pro-Ukraine people that are pissed off about Zelensky's behavior. You were wrong about Israel. We need to back God's promise. I mean, it depends on biblical interpretation on that, but I'm not sure if you're being serious or not. Trump 2028, only primary. Come on, man. You got to stop with the Trump 2028. What Trump needs to age well if that free. I mean, it's not possible, man. They'd have to change something. But I mean, look, this is even Jake Tapper saying one of his buddies, his Ukrainians, one of the Ukraine friends, there needs to be an end to this war, and there's only 3 ways. 1, America can send military weapons and manpower, potentially starts World War III. 2, Ukraine can surrender, give it all into Putin. Or 3, there's a ceasefire. Yeah, this is exactly right. If you talk about escalation, it's going to create World War III. I don't know what Putin and Ukraine wants. They want to continue the war? Show the Elon. I'm not going to show the entire interview with Elon and Joe Rogan. We don't need to change anything. He can run. Well, he's ineligible, man. He's ineligible to run again. He can run for VP. He can run for... Trump can run for VP, I think. He can't run for president. Look, this is where it was going to be right here. The East Room. That's where the minerals deal was going to be. So what happens now? Does Zelensky go back to Ukraine? There's no way Zelensky can go back to Ukraine without a minerals deal. So the U.S. will not be sending anything to Ukraine now if there's no minerals deal. And Zelensky was just doing a Fox News tour right after. I mean, like 10 minutes ago, I saw. And Zelensky is saying, well, you know, it's just all this vague bullshit that's meaningless. Look at this, 54K. Thank you, America. Thank you for your support, and thank you for this visit. You're going to have to go back to the White House. Did you not see what just happened? Oh my goodness. And now he's like retweeting all this stuff from look at this, the European leaders are like, we stand behind Ukraine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How many countries? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. PSYOP, PSYOP. Dude, come on. About 50 countries trying to, like, European countries trying to back him. He had a Fox News interview at 6 o'clock. Some say this was a distraction from the Epstein situation and Mossad connection. Well, everyone knows that there's a connection. But the Epstein thing. We'll talk about the Epstein stuff later tonight. There's a lot of people that are in this stream, I think, so they want me. I'm gonna talk about this, and then we'll talk about it later. He's not ineligible. 22nd Amendment allows for Trump to run since he's serving non-consecutive term twice, and 22nd means 2 consecutive. Well, isn't it an interpretation? It's an interpretation, basically, and the way it's been interpreted, the non-consecutive. That's why they're doing an amendment, or they're trying to pass an amendment to allow for that to be a thing, if it's non-consecutive. Yeah, I don't know, but what is Zelensky trying to? This is a pretty good approval rating for Trump, +8.
Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be? Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people, from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people helped to save our people. People, the first. Human rights, the first. This is very, very important. And we are thankful and sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I'm very count that we will have it.
Well, he's going to have to go back to the White House, I guess, and apologize. I mean, that seems like the power dynamic. I'm not understanding what he's saying. How does the United States save them? There's going to be no military involvement from the United States. But my interpretation is wrong. Well, I mean, that's just the way it's been interpreted since. I mean, that's why they don't do 3 terms. But listen, we'll see how Trump ages when it comes to that, man. All right, we'll see. Is it Zelensky? Yeah, with one Y or two. I don't know. I've seen both. Huh. You sent me some Solana. Oh, that's I appreciate that. I'll have to throw it onto something. Dude, stop. Supposedly Zelensky said the N-word in private. No, apparently he called Vance a bitch in his, you know. This thank you for the donation, Stephen. Good lord, this propaganda that has been spewed for 4 years is gonna break the US. Could this be the catalyst that Putin wanted? Can't negotiate with Zelensky. Well, I mean, they can negotiate if Zelensky apologizes. That's all Trump wanted. Did you see what Trump said right when he was leaving the White House this afternoon? He said Zelensky has to come back and just say he wants peace. So it doesn't seem like it's that crazy of an ask. I mean, I don't understand. Is he going to go back to Ukraine without a deal? Have you seen the video of the ambassador? She's like this. She's like losing, and you can hear them arguing in the background, the ambassador.
Much. It's an honor to have President Zelensky of Ukraine.
Well, this is the full thing. I don't know if people want me to watch this. Where's the suit? Yeah, dude, they were really going after Zelensky. But the funniest thing was really the beginning. Like, this is crazy. Like, did you see how he treated? It was just a total mogging. Lindsey Graham comes out and supports Trump heavily in that. He's getting kicked. He's getting shuffled out of the back door. He's getting shuffled out of the back door.
Pretty close. How are you? Pretty shut.
He's all dressed up today.
It's his son. Like, dude, this is
Up today.
Pretty shut.
He's all dressed up today.
oh man, just the height dynamic and everything. Oh, Ukraine is in no position to negotiate. Yeah, they have zero leverage at all. EU gonna use a dirty bomb now and blame Russia? To try and get the world back on their side, I guess. But I mean, there's really no side. We're trying to get this war over with. And there really are only three options. It's NATO escalation, it's Ukraine surrendering to Russia, or it's a ceasefire. Those are your options. And so I think the best thing would be a ceasefire. Yeah, this was a brutal moment. I thought this was going to be like the big moment of the night, but that was, or the big moment of the day. Piers Morgan crashing out the Brit. Zelensky needs to dial things down in this interview. Negotiations to end war are always fraught, and he must be exhausted. Wait, what did he think of this? No comment. Yeah, he's pissed off. Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio set this whole thing up, apparently, and he's not too happy. I get with Zelensky. Yeah, Rubio is on the couch with Vance. Zelensky, after the cameras were off, Biden forever, bro. Thank Harris for everything she did for me. Trump, get out of here. You know, he's like, fuck Trump. I mean, he was getting really angry. Well, they were treating him like a kid. That's why. Zelensky made it worse. Cry me a river. Somebody said that. To be fair, somebody said that in the chat before I went live, and I had to steal it and tweet it. Crimea. Look, this is someone who watched the 53-minute press conference. It's painful, but I take back what I said earlier. Zelensky decided to attack Vance unnecessarily. He totally messed this up. Vance played to the gallery afterwards, but he was also correct. Wow. And see, this is the thing. There was the 43 minutes, and it was Zelensky constantly agitating Vance and Trump. So Zelensky does come out on the bad side of this. Lindsay and McCain are the reason we're in this mess. 2014 was a huge mistake. Well, yeah, 2014, the annexation of Crimea. I mean, I think this has to be a situation where Zelensky stays in D.C. and then goes to apologize. What else can happen here? Or maybe, I guess, he goes back to Ukraine and then they maybe work something out doing that. I mean, he needs this deal. That Ukraine needs this deal to have leverage in negotiations. The reactions are overblown. Trump shot down Zelensky when he started to try and force the U.S. into a corner with the threat of future Russian invasions. Well, that's what they always do. It's always the ooh, you know, you're going to be, yeah, did you see Trump got really angry when that happened? Because Zelensky basically said, well, you don't have to worry about it right now, but when it's like he's insinuating Russia's going to take over several countries in Europe and then the United States is going to be a problem for the U.S. I mean, that's really the fear-mongering they use to try and extract the money to fund Ukraine from the U.S. It's like, well, it's not your problem right now, but it's going to be. And that's what really pissed off Trump. Crimea River of Tears. Zelensky, well, I saw this. Zelensky, we'll see what happens with him. I mean, impeached before July. They were already talking about getting him out, but I mean, I said there was no way they were going to do an election during wartime, but I don't know. They can't be happy with him. There's some pro-Ukraine there's a lot of pro-Ukraine people now that are saying Zelensky totally messed this up. This isn't just even a right versus a left thing. If you watch the full 43 minutes, people are saying it's Zelensky that was really agitating both Vance and Trump. I mean, yeah, this is kind of what he always does. This is very, very important, and we are thankful and sorry for this. Sorry for that the war is happening. Zelensky was encouraged by certain European leaders to take on Trump in front of the media. It may have backfired. But I don't understand the dynamic. It's obvious Trump wants to end the war, so what would Zelensky get out of this? Out of having a spat with Trump? They're clearly not in. Ukraine is not in position to talk like this. They're just not. Ukraine minerals deal. Wow. I mean, this is before April. It was at 97%. Yeah. I mentioned that. Just got in. Did you already talk about Zelensky calling Vance a bitch in Ukrainian? Let me see if I have that. He did it under his breath.
I've actually
Apparently
watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour.
Come one.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr.
He was so uncomfortable throughout that entire thing. They made fun of him not wearing a suit multiple times. I mean, Trump before, but even someone during it. Here it is.
Wear a suit.
Second
And
question.
my second question for President Zelensky. Do you ever, why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting
I don't
the
have
dignity of
such.
this office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something
maybe
like this?
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than yeah. Thank you. Thank you for.
But you know, he wears that as like a, oh, my country's at war. So it's a projection. That's why he never wears a suit. E-Rock, thank you for that. Yep, Friday night stream. But we got a big situation that happened, so it's a big stream here. We got updates coming in. Zelensky apologizes and expresses gratitude, saying he believes he can repair his... I mean, he has no choice. He has no choice. So what happens now? He's gonna have to talk about wanting peace, I guess. I believe this is gonna be good for Trump. It really is. Even the Ukraine supporters, even like Lindsey Graham is saying Trump did a good thing. This is really good for Trump, believe it or not. Would Ukraine become Russia if we stopped helping them? They already would have been Russia. Ukraine has more advanced technology than Russia in the war because of NATO. But obviously, I mean, they would have already been taken over, or at least a massive swath of them would have been taken over. I mean, they're going to have to reassess this, the Ukrainians. They're going to... You did not hear Zelensky apologize in the Fox News interview. Well, I would imagine this is probably coming from their official office or something. I mean, Zelensky's English is not that great, so he probably didn't say everything. Did his people call him and tell him to apologize to Trump? I would imagine that's probably what has to happen here. Otherwise, you've squandered your biggest... You're by far biggest, in terms of this war, ally, in terms of the amount of money we've sent them. He's posting on X. I mean, it's not him, it's his people posting this, but yeah, he's posting trying to like calm this down. Tulsi gives out support for Trump, it looks like there. Endorses what Trump said about Zelensky. Yeah, there's all these smaller European countries trying to back Ukraine. That's just the dynamic of the United States versus Europe. They're a lot more worried about Russia than we are. Huge stream. Yeah, this is a big stream for me. Thoughts on Candace Owens owning Piers Morgan? About, I didn't say that, about what? 1,200 people watching? Yeah, the last time I had over 1,000 people, it was Trump versus, the other Trump versus this world stream. So this is another big stream for me. But yeah, I mean, this is just, like let me just explain to everyone the dynamic of this. I was ready for the minerals deal. It was going to be at least multiple billions of dollars in minerals for the United States, maybe $1 trillion, Trump was saying. So they were going to do the minerals deal today. We were going to get information on it. Where are they extracting the minerals from? And how is it going to work in terms of the security with Ukraine? Because that was really what it was about, it was about the minerals, and Zelensky wanted security assurances. Trump really didn't want to give him any because we don't want to be in this situation 3 years from now, but we also don't want a reinvasion. That's why we have a potential economic partnership happening with Russia. It's going to avoid that from happening. But I thought that's what was going to happen. Zelensky, I mean, it's like a 45-minute thing in front of the media where they all sit together. Zelensky acts like an ass. Vance calls him out on it. Because I thought it was a good cop, bad cop thing, but apparently Zelensky was just acting like a clown the entire time. Ukraine people are saying it. So even Ukraine people now saying that Zelensky was acting not good, not professional. So Vance called him out and said, "This is absurd. You need to stop doing this. We're trying to get peace. We understand that we don't want a reinvasion, but there's three options. Russia either takes over Ukraine because the United States stops supporting. The United States sends in more, equipment or NATO soldiers. Then there's World War III, or there's a ceasefire agreement where Ukraine keeps some territory, Russia gets some territory, and the United States gets minerals from both countries." Zelensky flew to America to campaign for Kamala Harris. He's untrustworthy. I know that's what Vance said. Did you see that? He said, you were campaigning for the opposing administration like 7 months ago or whenever it was, like right before they did a little press tour. What about Josh Shapiro signing the bombs? I have that. I have that in here somewhere too. I think. Maybe not. That was a crazy photo op of Josh Shapiro with Zelensky back right before the election, signing bombs that we were giving to Ukraine. Zelensky is cooked, plain and simple. Yeah, I mean, there's going to have to be a big apology, and I think Trump wants Zelensky to say he wants peace. Rubio looked pissed at getting rug pulled on the mineral deal by Zelensky. Yeah, Rubio was not happy if you saw him. Elon Musk wants an investigation. Zelensky isn't leaving U.S. without licking Trump's balls. I mean, that's what has to happen for them, I think. Why are we even messing around in Russia's backyard? Perpetual war is not the answer. Warfare has changed drastically from World War II. Exit NATO. Right, well, World War II is it really is not something that's needed with the Soviet Union gone at this point. Especially for the United States, with how big our military is compared to all the countries in Europe. And really, I think this war is a great example, whether or not you'll be able to leave NATO and stuff. There's a lot that goes into that, but because we do have a lot of military bases, but I'm sure we'd be able to keep them just because of how powerful we are. The question is, we have a different view on foreign powers than a lot of our allies in Europe do, because we're in different areas of the world. So it's not very practical. Great video on Trump's Israel probably. Yeah, well, it just got too much, man. It's just too much. I mean, you have to say something at some point. Chances of Ukraine coup? I don't think they're very high, honestly. I mean, it's unpredictable. I don't know how upset Ukrainians are about this. I don't know what they're telling him. They're probably telling him you need to apologize immediately if you haven't already. Russia controls 87 trillion in rare earth minerals and metals. Why waste our time with small potatoes? I think it's because Trump wants Ukraine specifically to pay it back. And also, I mean, that would be part of a peace negotiation, unless you're okay with letting just Ukraine get trounced by Russia. The peace negotiation, you would want the rare earths from Ukraine. But Russia apparently is getting even more rare earths, and that might be an economic deal we end up doing because they're taking land, and they're going to be annexing land in Ukraine. It's not feasible for... Somebody was telling me that Trump was talking about possibly getting Ukraine land back in a negotiation, but I'm not even sure that's possible now after this. Any notable tweets from Euro leaders? Yeah, they're all supporting Zelensky heavily. They're saying we have your back, we love you. They have heavy support for Zelensky. They are not happy. Macron did an interview where he said, it's very clear Russia's the aggressor, but it's all like window dressing. There's nothing that actually gets said. There was nothing like... They don't say the United States is wrong. They just say we support Ukraine. We know there's a connotation that they're saying the U.S. is wrong, though, underlying. Trump coin, I think that coin is dead right now because they're trying to introduce legislation to not allow politicians to make meme coins. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that coin is it's too high in market cap. If Zelensky cared about his people, he would have gone through the peace deal and would have given the minerals to, well, I mean, that's what was supposed to happen. I just don't know why he acted the way he did during the White House visit. I mean, what kind of leverage does he think he has here? Russia and America peace reduces chances of nuclear conflict by 1,000. I know, that's the whole point. And then liberals say, well, it's appeasement to Russia. No, we're just trying to, I mean, it makes sense for two massive superpowers to have peace and not have a kind of like an enemy type proxy relationship, which is what liberals wanted to have with Russia, where it's like they're terrible. Well, I mean, it's a very dangerous game you're playing. Biden didn't even want to talk to Putin. Very dangerous game when that happens. Do you think we should just let them hash it out and get the U.S. out because a peace deal seems very unlikely? Well, it depends what Ukraine decides to do. Trump said Zelensky needs to say that he wants peace and he needs to apologize. Yeah, I don't think that Kanye coin is coming. I mean, that Kanye coin's probably not coming out anytime soon, man. Are you gonna play the full exchange with Vance Trump? I mean, I played it on my video, or you could just look it up, dude. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone's talking about the exchange. Yeah, well, this is like the tour that the press, the little support tour that he has. Thank you from Germany. Thank you from all these different European countries. President Trump to accelerate efforts to investigate fraud and waste in Ukraine after he literally kicked Zelensky out of the White House. This actually happened. He kicked Zelensky out of the White House. Does Pam Bondi get fired soon? I mean, she's going to have to give an update on those files, though, that's for sure. I mean, it's really early in the administration to start talking like that. There's going to have to be something that gets produced from those files. How close are we to World War III? I mean, there's no predicting World War III, but the idea is if there's some type of peace between the U.S. and Russia, it minimizes it significantly.
What if anything? What if
He's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony
And Zelensky looks angry.
where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all
Just look how dejected Zelensky looks,
that
man.
stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thanks.
He just bitch slapped him, and Zelensky didn't say anything. U.S. should go neutral around the world, trade with China, Russia, and Europe. Yeah, that might be what Trump is pushing for, something like that. I don't know. I don't know about China, because China has a situation with Taiwan, although Trump has said he needs something from Taiwan to defend them. Similar thing to Ukraine. Appeasement to Russia, pathway to World War III. Sooner or later, Americans will feel. I mean, that's what Zelensky was saying. But that's just not. There's no viable answer. So you're insinuating we escalate this current situation? Why would the United States do that? Why would Trump do that? He just got elected over ending this war, and you want it to be escalated. Also, if you're so obsessed with like Russia invading everywhere, why didn't Biden escalate it? I mean, Biden never sent in any troops or anything. There's the only way that some of these European people get what they want is if there's NATO troops involved. They're running out of men. Ukraine, they're running out of people. They would need help. So you would escalate the war. Trump is not entertaining that. That's not what he was elected to do. JD Vance gained so much respect today. Well, I mean, Vance has been kind of at the center of attention. They're trying to bring him along as the understudy, and they want Vance to lead the ticket in 28. You can tell Zelensky knew he messed up towards the end. Yeah, I also think it's like a language thing. Like, he just seems uneasy throughout the entire thing. Trying to push Trump into a corner is a fuck around and find out moment. Yeah, I mean, trying to bully Trump like that and into like, oh, you know, Russia's going to take over everything if you don't support us. Support you in what way? The U.S. has supported them, and they have fought. I mean, everyone thought Russia was going to take over most of Ukraine quickly. It didn't happen. So let's get it solved here. Mike Pence is crying again, like the 90th time. All Zelensky had to do was shut up for 10 minutes. He would have gotten the deal. Now his country is probably fucked. I mean, I still think the deal can happen. I think the deal can probably still happen, but he just has to go back to the White House. I don't know. We'd have to ask Trump, but Trump said he just wants him to say he wants peace and apologize. Reminded you of 2016 debate Trump. Yeah, Trump in 2016, it was like prime Trump debate.
He broken this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? Did you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You
Don't-
will not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell.
That's when Trump got involved. Trump was really angry about that. It was almost like a threat about Russia taking over. I mean, I would presume most of Europe, and then it becoming a United States issue. That's what they're saying. That's what they're going for. I mean, that's the fear mongering of Europe. But I saw someone Zelensky launching a meme coin. Imagine. Little Potato, thank you. I think we should just let them fight it out because there's a valid point saying there's no guarantee, but we don't want to escalate things either. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It's definitely one of those, like, Ukraine. The problem for Ukraine is they just have no leverage, but they want a situation to where the war ends. They get a decent deal in terms of the lands, how the land is split up, but I'm not sure they're going to. I mean, I would presume all of the land that's currently with Russia, or at least like 9% of it, is going to stay Russian if this happens. Or a lot of it's going to stay Russian. But then Ukraine is going to want like assurances from Europe and the United States in terms of defense to sign an agreement. The problem is they don't have really the leverage to demand that. And so there might be a sticking point in terms of U.S. commitment to security in Ukraine post this war. Because you figure there's a peace deal, the war ends, but then Ukraine is worried about a reinvasion from Russia. And I don't know. I don't really think Trump is really interested in giving a ton of assurances to Ukraine right now and committing because we don't want to be in the same place. He did mog him there, man. I mean, that was I don't know if I've seen something quite like that. He's like, he dressed up today. Oh man, he dressed up. The problem with letting Russia take more of Ukraine is they're just going to do it again. Well, I mean, what would they have, like a sixth of the country? I mean, this is the problem. What you're insinuating is you want NATO troops to be involved. I mean, because how else do you negotiate out of Russia taking that land? You really can't do that. Will Zelensky wear a suit to the next meeting? I mean, if there is one, if he stays in DC, I would hope he'd probably get a suit, especially after what happened to him today. Do you think this is a distraction from the Epstein debacle? I mean, we need answers on Epstein. I need answers because the whole situation with the coin. But we need to focus on Epstein soon because the Pam Bondi stuff is really bad. What happened to Pam Bondi? Maybe they have to redact stuff, I guess. I don't know. That needs to be released, whatever she got. She said she got 2,000. She's been silent all day. But yeah, this is a legit distraction. I mean, but this kind of just happened because there was a meeting. Whether or not, I mean, this is a horrible look for Ukraine. You really can't predict this, that Zelensky was going to act like this. Because originally, this is what I thought. I thought Trump and Vance wanted to do this on purpose to send a message in the public light. But now what people are saying is that no, Zelensky was acting like an ass throughout the entire 43 minutes. Do you think the U.S. will respect Article 5? Article 5 better not be needed during Trump's admin. But Trump said, yeah, they would respect it with Starmore yesterday. That was a quote from Trump. Ben Stiller promote Ukraine. Yeah, the Ukraine emoji flag. That's so soft. I mean, it's another Hollywood, dude. What is going on with the Epstein files? Nobody knows. Pam Bondi said she got 2,000 more files that had key information, including the client list and videos, and she was to be given them by 8 o'clock this morning. I haven't heard anything. Epstein files can't be released because Trump is all over them. Well, then why didn't the dumbass liberals leak that? How stupid are you? Hey, but hey, genius. They hate Trump. He's Hitler. So why wouldn't liberals leak that Trump went to Epstein Island? You understand those flight logs were for flights not to Epstein Island, and there's like thousands of people on them? That's what they always say. He's on the flight logs. Yeah, they're not even Epstein planes. They're like different planes if you look into it. The U.S. needs to withdraw from NATO. I mean, I think Trump is on the verge. There's definitely some alienization in terms of the U.S. wants and how they view Russia and how Europe. I mean, Europe is scared of Russia. And they have, you know, it's understandable that it's just, it's a different position to be in when you're that close to Russia. But it's like, Trump is, it's more of an America first thing. So that's why Trump wants the minerals back too. He wants something in return. If Trump was all over the Epstein files, they would have had a field day with it. Yeah, they gave Trump 34 fake felony charges. You don't think they would have, if they could actually find something tangible on Trump, they would have used it? Of course they would have. They got so desperate, they used 34 misdemeanors that they elevated to a felony. It's never happened before. Or the JFK files. I think those are gonna, something will come out with that, or maybe within the next few weeks. I don't know, man. It's hard to say exactly.
No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
you
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks. Your country is.
Yeah, Trump just going off on him after what, you know, he's just agitating Trump. What did Zelensky say that annoyed Trump? It was a constant poor attitude, and then Zelensky basically said that Russia was going to, I guess, take over some of Europe, and then it'd become an issue for the United States, and there's no gratitude from Zelensky. Zelensky is a corrupt criminal. With a mansion in Morocco, 14 million last summer, total scam. Trump is right. Stop the innocent killing. Stop wasting American taxpayer money. Yeah, no, I agree. Russia wins regardless. Zelensky should take deal because at least you're promised for 4 years. Trump is right when he says Zelensky has no cards to play. Well, the problem for them is they've lost so many men, and they've got a much smaller military than Russia, and they're being propped up by NATO, which by extension is the US. And if the US is not supporting them, they're screwed. And Trump knows that. What's with liberals in chat? Well, you get a big stream like this is what happens. Trump cannot run for VP, read the 12th Amendment. Well, no. I think he can run for VP and then be president for 2 years. He can be installed if he's the VP. I mean, it's all about how it's interpreted. Yeah, him saying we've been alone. I mean, the US has been funding them 9 figures at this point. In my opinion, this comes down to Russia and China alliance. They can't be together when World War III comes. Now, that's very key. It's extremely important. You're right. Russia must choose. I think with Russia, they were being pushed towards China, and now Trump is kind of bringing them back. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in the chat right now.
And campaign for the opposition in October, offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, do you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war in
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a minute.
answer?
No,
Can
you've
I
done a
answer?
lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
Diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to...
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it, honestly. I'm not going to play the full 43 minutes of it. Zelensky says he would not go back to the White House even if he could. I mean, how does he expect this to end, though? I don't think the U.S. will be giving them money if there's not a minerals deal. So how are they going to get funding from Europe? There is a little sigh of relief for us because the U.S., there's nothing that could host even a slight threat that's not named Russia. Well, we're just in a different part of the world than Europe is. If we had a superpower right next to us, it'd be different. But I mean, China would be more of a threat than Russia for us, for sure. I mean, just in general. But for Europe, it's different. I don't know what, I mean, how are they going to continue fighting this war? You made it 1K, 1,000 viewers.
Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be.
I already played that. No way people come out of this thinking Zelensky is good. Yeah, it's the thing is I've seen a lot of people that like Ukraine say this was not a good exchange for Zelensky. Even like very level-headed people who are Europeans. I mean, there's going to be, you know, liberals are going to hate anything Trump does. That is what it is. But you can peel that back, and then it looks like Zelensky looks really bad with this entire exchange. Zelensky showed up late to the meeting, really?
For our biggest strategic partner, for the United States, or United States will propose where and how the United States will give us security guarantees, what kind of and what part of volume of security guarantees. And when we will be ready with this, we will come to diplomacy. To diplomacy, yes, with Russians, Europeans, United States, and we. Four of us, I think this is real way, because with weapon, it's too long, it's not enough. We don't have enough weapon to push them out, and we don't see now, for now, we don't see really big volume of new support from the United States, but with all respect again. So for today, we'll be ready with security guarantee.
Zelensky was sent to DC to say, no uncertain, I mean, we want security guarantees or we're not negotiating. That's what it is. I mean, what do the guarantees exactly mean, though? What type of guarantees do they want? Security guarantees from the United States. I mean, I don't think Putin's going to do anything with Trump, honestly. I really don't. But it just depends on what the guarantees are. The NFL Combine is going crazy. Really? You know, those players always test better every year, it feels like. No security guarantee, screw him. Well, they're going to have to rely then, if there's no security guarantee from Trump, they're going to have to still end it, I feel like. I mean, what are they going to do? Get funding from the EU? Crying that the loan was a grant was insane. Yeah, he did try and do that. He tried to say it was a grant, which is not, they don't have to pay it. How are we a superpower? That's a troll, man. When you have the most powerful military times 10, yeah, you're a superpower. Who wins a fashion contest, Zelensky or Fetterman? Dude, Zelensky. Fetterman dresses like just trash. I mean, somebody's got to talk to Fetterman. Trump says America is happy to stay committed to NATO as long as Europe starts paying instead of free riding. We have an ocean in between. Yeah, so this is pretty consistent Trump rhetoric on NATO, talking about it, just where we're located in the world. Europe should have to pay more for their defense, like localized defense within Europe and the surrounding countries, which would involve the Ukraine war. What if we became a partner with Russia? Well, it looks like Trump is doing an economic partnership with Russia, possibly to extract rare earths in newly gained Russian land that is on the eastern side of Ukraine, from what I think is going to happen. Vietnam, I mean, but that doesn't matter. You're talking about wars that we fought thousands of miles away. That's not even close to our full force. That's not even a world war either. I mean, certainly the United States has fought some really fucking stupid wars and lost and spent a lot of money. Look at our conduct in the Middle East. But to say, I mean, to say we're not a superpower is obviously a troll. U.S. does have the best. Yeah, we're the best location with the Pacific and Atlantic. It's great. And also, you've got Canada and Mexico. It's not like they're superpowers you got to worry about either. Thoughts on the loser influencers yesterday? Yeah, that was really bad. And those influencers definitely regret doing that. They probably got roped into it. They thought they were getting some exclusive breaking story. Meanwhile, the binder was even worse. Cry me a river. I know. Cry me a river. But the binder had stuff that was previously out in the open that they redacted in the binder. So stuff that was already we already knew about in pages that we already knew about was redacted. So it was even worse somehow. Zelensky is 5'3". Is Zelensky seriously? I thought Zelensky was like 5'7". I don't know. How tall is Zelensky, honestly? Trump is not interested in reviving minerals deal, according to... I don't know about that account, that index account. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's an okay account. There's so many of these accounts there. Can you check the status of Pam Bondi? You mean her account? Which one? I don't know which one she's gonna post from more. I think it's ready. I think it's silence, honestly. I don't know. She was given only 200 pages out of 2,000. We've never seen it. Yeah, but I think she just got given the other stuff this morning. 5'7", 5'5". Apparently Zelensky is 5'7". He claims to be 5'7", but there's no way. Yeah, I mean, with guys, you probably give yourself an inch and a half. With so if you say you're 5'7", you're about 5'5" and a half. Zelensky 5'4", but it's 5'10" when he wears. I mean, he's probably about 5'5", honestly, if I had to guess. What's going on with DeSantis, man? Did you see DeSantis' wife and what she said? I don't know what's going on with them. Right. There's really no information on this. And you know what? That thing must have went way down in terms of those files getting released today. Epstein files released. I mean, they didn't even get released, though. I don't know. The complete letdown. As someone who's 5'7", yeah, I'm about 5'10" and a half myself. I'm about 5'10". What's up with DeSantis? I don't know. His wife came up. She's trying to take over. And she's trying to do a run now. For governor, I think. But then DeSantis didn't let Andrew Tate into the state. I mean, isn't Tate like... he was born in the U.S. I don't understand. Elon on Joe Rogan today. Yeah, I mean, I saw a little of that. Elon can be hard to listen to at times because it's just like... Macron's wife, a dude. Candace Owens. Go watch Candace Owens stuff. I don't know. Have you seen that? Zelensky will sign the deal by next week. What other move does he have? Yeah, I agree with you, but there's a lot of rumors. Is the deal off? Is it still on? He has to sign the deal. What else would he do? He made a major flub, and he's gonna have to apologize. And his people are telling him, "You need to apologize and sign the deal." I mean, you're still hoping for 100x on the Epstein coin? Yeah, I think with the Epstein coin, dude, the strategy there. What is it at? Like 100K? I mean, I still have it. Now we need just something to. Oh my, 136. We need something to come out really bad. We need something. We need a miracle. We need it to just come. We need it to just drop, and then there'll be a FOMO event, and we could get out. What a letdown, the Epstein files. I mean, they're going to have to drop something with someone. There has to be somebody that gets to where it becomes big. Could you play some clips of the dude? I mean, I know you told me. I understand there was a podcast with Rogan and Elon, but it's like, what do you want me to do, Elon? These clips are not. This is not even. I don't even think this is related to Joe Rogan. It's not even related to Joe Rogan. They made like a fan version of this, I think, or something. Or maybe I think someone said he follows it or something. All right. Here, I'll play this. I gotta take a piss. I'll play this, I guess. We'll see. We'll see if you guys like this.
It's kind of a hack to the system where, you know, someone can get an NGO stood up for a fairly small amount of money. Like George Soros was really good at this. Like George Soros is like a system hacker. Like he figured out how to hack the system. He's a genius at arbitrage. I mean, these days he's pretty old, but a genius at arbitrage. So he figured out that you could leverage a small amount of money to create a nonprofit, then lobby the politicians to send a ton of money to that nonprofit, so you can take what might be, you know, a $10 million donation to a nonprofit to create a nonprofit and leverage that into $1 billion NGO. A nonprofit is a weird word. It's just a non-governmental organization. And then the government continues to fund that every year. And it'll have a nice sounding name, like the Institute for Peace or something like that. But really, it's a graft machine.
And what are the requirements with that money? What do they have to do?
Just really no requirements at all.
So they just get grants and the government just assumes that they're doing good work.
I think a lot of people in the government know that they're not doing good work. But it's a giant graft machine.
How was that clip? Elon Musk and Joe Rogan praise Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings gets a shout out. That's a big shout out for him, huh? Honestly, you can weed some of the people out here. There's some people. I mean, this is what happens. The chat gets bigger. Or you get some people that they're not really too big fans of me. They come in here and they get weeded out. I wonder if this was a 4-hour episode. Yeah, launch a meme coin on Solana. Yeah, that would be great for me. That would really help me. Solana's known to have some great coins, that's for sure. What's the next meme coin? Well, we have to wait for this Epstein files thing to happen. Crypto will boom in May, maybe April, honestly, man. I mean, this is, you know what? I've been buying some of those Pi coins, the 3.14, 314 day. I mean, who knows though? I don't have really any faith in any of these coins right now. There's nothing in this market. Everything is down. Things crashed yesterday again while I was streaming. Always listen to your lives while playing BO3 Zombies. I play BO1 Zombies. I play that a decent amount, actually. How come Elon doesn't wear a suit? Elon's a billionaire. He's not a politician. Rogan was smoking some weed here, you can tell. When you have no face in the market, everything is down. That's when you're supposed to buy it. Yeah, but I'm already invested, man. I mean, it's like, it sucks. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's definitely probably a good time to buy. You have Chronicles BO3, so you play a lot of old BO1s. Yeah, I know. But you're playing with BO3, I can't play with Gobblegums, bro. I mean, you don't need Gobblegums, man. Come on. You use Gobblegums. What's the point? You get a shopping spree. I mean, the whole map's open. You gotta earn that. You bought Solana because you think it'll get to 5 digits. No, it's not gonna get to 5 digits. 10,000, maybe 1,000 this cycle. Solana. What do you think the EU won't work? I'm not sure what that question even is. Yeah, the EU obviously is very scared of Russia, and so they have a different risk tolerance on Russia than we do. And so that's the number one biggest thing. We do not view Russia like Europe views Russia. So there's going to be a difference in how we want to deal with this peace deal. I mean, but I don't understand what Europe wants. There's no, I mean, unless you want escalation, I guess some people want escalation. But I haven't really seen anyone. But I don't understand. What is the actual liberal argument? Is the liberal argument to keep the war going because Ukraine is running out of men? And we know Russia has way more men than Ukraine. So then what happens after that? You always knew from day one Zelensky was full of shit. Well before everyone else got on the Zelensky hate train. Always knew he was a controlled guy. Just a NATO puppet. Yeah, I mean, it's... Zelensky to me is just nothing, honestly. You think Base will take over with meme coins? Yeah, I really like Base, dude. I really like Base. Because Base is just Ethereum with no fees. So I agree with you. I think Base is... Because it depends what's the narrative going to be. I think it's probably going to be Base. Because Solana is just shit the bed with all their scams and stuff. Fighter, good evening, man. Good evening. Rogan needs to stop smoking. He loves it. I don't think he's going to. Remember, he's obsessed with legalizing it. Liberals don't care there's over 1 million casualties. Well, I mean, their thought is that, well, they think it's like Nazi Germany 2.0. There's just it's just not the proper historical context. It doesn't even matter if it was, there's no way that that Russia would even take over like 6 or 7 different countries in Europe. The war, it would escalate to the point where there would be nuclear bombs involved before that anyways. And it's like, well, you're appeasing Russia, but there's no answer unless you want this to keep going, at which point Ukraine will inevitably lose. Unless you decide to get NATO involved, and then that's escalation. And that's like a 4 or 5 year war right there if that happened. So it's like, there's just, if you play out the scenarios in your head, they really want escalation into World War III. You can actually OD on edibles. Well, edibles are a totally different story, man. Edibles are just the chemistry within edibles is you can get really messed up on edibles. What's with the suit drama? It's about Zelensky not wearing a suit. I mean, he got mogged really badly by Trump, and then I think a reporter inside the Oval Office asked, "Why are you not wearing a suit?" to Zelensky, and he didn't really have an answer. It's just awkward. Love your vid on Trump Israel. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Why did Putin wait until 2014? Well, that's when Ukraine wanted to split off from almost being like a Russian puppet state and join NATO and join the West. You support me. I appreciate it, man. You prefer old school Republican ideology, the new Elon era, and that Trump is in. U.S. should support UKR, ISRA, and Taiwan against commies. My thought process, especially when it comes to Taiwan, really any of this, it's Trump wants something in return for helping defend against, in Taiwan's case, it would be China. In Ukraine's case, it would be Russia. Trump wants something in return. So I think he'll probably help Taiwan, but he's going to want some type of deal probably before they even start sending aid or Steve Bannon, War Room reporter going after Zelensky. Yeah, I mean, I saw. I mean, I didn't know who exactly it was, but he's not a general. He's a president. Act like it. Well, that goes to the whole suit thing. I mean, it's a virtue signal tactic to where he doesn't wear a suit because his country's at war, so he wants to act like he's at war too. That's, I believe, what that is. I'm pretty pissed off about this Epstein stuff, man. I really am pissed off about it. I mean, the thing is, it's not even about, like, the list. That was always going to be manipulated and stuff, but, like, just with the coin and everything, how did we not get anything? How did they botch that so badly? Since when do president at war not wear suits? That's just made up. Well, it's done as like a tactic, but yeah, I mean, he can wear a suit. That's fine. I mean, personally, I don't really care one way or another. People wanted him to wear a suit though, but it is proper. I mean, you gotta have good etiquette. You're pissed about the Epstein coin? Are you still in it? I'm trying to find someone who's. I mean, I'm still in it. I have to wait now for some type of shit to come out. Hopefully, it'll just get dropped randomly. Thank you for doing these live streams, John. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, this is like my 6th straight live stream, I believe. This was a big one for me. the respect thing to wear a suit, especially in the White House. You almost bought in at 700K. Yeah, if we would have gotten more, you have people to buy in. We could have went to like 2 million. We needed more. We needed to convince more of you people to, but we just weren't able to. You would have been our exit liquidity, but instead we're just eating. We're just swimming in shit. Typhoon, what's up, man? Yeah, I mean, this thing's, you can tell it's dying out. It's on a dead tail. This is like a dead tail. A death spiral. Yeah. I don't, there's gonna have to be something that gets released, or else this is not. Sean, what's up, man? The whale enters. Yeah, I had a lot of viewers earlier. A bunch of random people joined. A bunch of liberals joined my stream when I was reacting to the stuff. Which depressed meme coin right now do you think has the highest chance of rebounding? Oh, like meme coin that's really low? MOG and SPX, but they're higher caps. I think they're pretty much, as long as the market, they have huge communities. They'll definitely rebound. I mean, there's so many meme coins, dude. That's the thing. I was looking at all the, and also MOG and SPX are on Ethereum, which I think is going to be a narrative. People are just done with Solana. I mean, there'll still be good coins on Solana that run, but people are just sick of being scammed on Solana. And the problem is, it's the culture within Solana. Nobody holds the meme coins. All it is a trade. That's it. It's like a holding for 5 days and you trade it. Like SPX and MOG are more, you could hold those for like 4 or 5 months at least. Is there a Zelensky meme coin? I mean, I bet there is. There's a meme coin about pretty much every major figure. Not as bad as the Kamala bots. Yeah, the Kamala bots were, but they were very obvious, the Kamala bots. And people started just commenting some really nasty shit. I had to like, that was before the election. Because I had my chat on the screen, and then I had to take it off because people started just commenting some really bad stuff. There's nothing on base. I mean, that's kind of what happens when a new chain comes along. It takes time. Or there's nothing on base right now, then there's going to be 5 coins over, memes over 1 billion, and like, that's the point. You have to foresee it before it happens. Yeah, I mean, Elon, to be honest, like a lot of the Elon stuff is because he has X, and so there's a lot of propaganda that comes out about him and stuff, and he's just always in the news. So people think he like runs the Trump administration. There's just going to be a lot of news surrounding him because he owns X and because he's the richest man in the world. All this news, no Epstein news. I know. It's really a shame. I mean, but like, what even happened to this? This doesn't even make, this is not even, this is, no, there were no files that got released. Nothing new got released. If this actually happened, the coin would have been better. I can't believe they allowed that market to win. Declassified? What even got declassified? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Yeah, Castro did where military garb like that as well. There's definitely Trump bots in these streams. Yeah, you just can't stop whether it's Trump or liberal, or there's always a lot of bots. I mean, look at crypto channels. Look at the bots they got in the comments there. It's crazy. What if Kanye just released the coin right now? Quickly. He's releasing it right now. He's got like 3 hours to release it before the end of February. Vance is in a good spot for the next election. Well, I mean, it's way too early, man. I mean, Vance is like, he's definitely doing things that Republicans like. He's very, he's like a, I don't even want to say watered down version of Trump. He's definitely more nuanced, it seems like, in terms of his opinions. But he's not Trump. This took some heat from off Trump for sure for the loser influencers. Yeah, I mean that was just odd, man. That the influencers using that thing. It's just... Has Kash Patel said anything? Yeah, Kash Patel put out a statement yesterday pledging that they were going to release everything, but it's just you have to actually do it. I mean, we've been hearing that for a while from this administration. They didn't release the new documents that Pam Bondi said she got this morning. Yesterday, Pam Bondi put out a statement saying she was getting new documents, like 2,000 documents that were withheld from her by the FBI this morning at 8 a.m. Now, what's happened since then? We haven't heard anything from Pam Bondi. It was the Zelensky stuff that came out. Do you think Vivek will win Ohio? It's going to be hard to beat him. I mean, the Trump endorsement is extremely powerful. Extremely powerful within the Republican Party. When is the Epstein files going to be? I mean, it's impossible to say. We have to talk to Pam Bondi. She's in control of it. So the next time she says something, Kanye coin going to go crazy? Yeah, it'll go crazy and then dump immediately. I mean, it's already been known that Kanye partnered with known scammers who like took control of his account or something. I think they're waiting for better market conditions and then launching it on Solana. That would be my guess. They're waiting for a rebound. Yeah, there is a Vance meme coin, but yeah, I mean, there's no point in buying it now. You'd want to buy it in like 2027, I guess, if he runs. Give it to the end of next week. If nothing gets released, it's a flop. Yeah, I mean, she has to say something. That's the thing. She hasn't said anything since yesterday. And now you've got this whole thing with Zelensky, and I think Zelensky will agree. Ever seen The Heretic? No, I've never seen that, man. Thank you for the $10. I did see that Jim Tressel might run. I think Jim Tressel would beat Vivek, honestly. Jim Tressel, he was a legendary coach. That's funny. He's a good man. He's loved in Ohio. But he wouldn't have the Trump endorsement, so it's hard for him to run. Wouldn't you want to front run the Vance coin? It's way too early, dude. You don't want to be buying a meme coin for 3 years. I know what you're saying, but it's just there's no point in buying it right now. I know there's one on Ethereum that's kind of got like a 200K market cap. This is the bullshit official Vance. Yeah, this is the one. But honestly, with the way things have been going for Ethereum, I don't even know. But like, there's no sense in front running this coin right now. I mean, unless you think it's going to go really high this cycle. But I mean, Vance is the VP, so this coin had to run up to 11 million. Yeah, this is definitely a good buying zone for it. Not financial advice. I mean, who knows though? To me, the politify, whatever it is, that narrative seems over. And maybe that's a bullish signal from me, but it just seems over. I don't know. Like Vance, yeah, he's probably going to be in the news a lot and stuff, but it's Trump kind of destroyed that entire thing with his meme, with his launch himself. When he launched that coin, that kind of destroyed it. Does Jim Trussell have a scandal for? No, he doesn't. It was a tattoo thing. It's a joke. The tattoo thing, I mean, now players can just buy whatever they want. Imagine like 12 years ago, it was a huge scandal. You ready to live with a bunch of Indians? I don't even think I'll be in Ohio when Vivek wins, honestly. Not because of Vivek, but I'm already moving. Yeah, I mean, did you see Vivek went viral with Vivek with his... He was doing an interview inside his home. He didn't have any socks on. And people were like, that's nasty. Dude, Vivek is getting... He's getting... I mean, maybe it's just my algorithm. There's a lot of Republicans that don't like Vivek. And it goes back to the H-1B thing. And the thing is, he really hasn't... I mean, I tweeted out something. I said a single tweet ruined Vivek. And then people were like, what are you talking about? He was right and stuff. So people are definitely divided on Vivek. Did Vance launch a meme coin? No. Those meme coins were launched by just random people, not Vance. Vance was too vocal at the meeting today. VPs don't usually get that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would agree with that. I think Trump was probably pretty happy with how it went with Vance there. Yeah, I already covered the Zelensky stuff, man. You go watch my video from earlier today, or there's 100 videos and stuff. You know what? I do want to play you a video, though. Let me play you, because I'm guessing you probably haven't seen this one. This is a good one, though. You got to see this one. This might be the best one of the day.
Pretty close. How are you? Pretty shut.
He's all dressed up today.
Dude, you have to understand. Trump said it to him. He said, you're all dressed up, but none of the cameras really heard it. And then Zelensky was like embarrassed by it. But then Trump's like, he's like, I want to make sure everyone hears this. He's all dressed up.
Pretty close. How are you? Pretty shut.
He's all dressed up today.
Dude, he's like, that's the look of embarrassment, man. That's the look of embarrassment. Your Ukrainian mom and MAGA dad have been fighting all day. That's gotta be a troll. You're glad Vance spoke up today. It shows his strength and capabilities. Well, I mean, let's not talk about 2028 yet, right? 2028's a while away. Height, yeah, dude. Height is just such an important factor for a dude. I mean, I'm not trying to brag. I'm like 5'10" myself. I'm not even that tall, but it is a big factor, man. It's a big factor. It's pretty crazy. What do liberals think about that?
He's all dressed up today.
I'm gonna find that and just clip like 3 seconds and then tweet it. I need to save this.
He's all dressed up today.
The reaction. He's like comforting his child.
Up today.
President Trump, what's your message to Vladimir Putin, sir? President Trump, you got enough. President Trump, you got enough.
Napoleon was 5'3", but that was kind of a different time too. A lot of people were shorter then. People in Europe, I believe, are shorter anyways. What do you think of the Tate brothers in Southern Florida? I mean, listen, if they don't have any charges, I don't, what's the problem? I don't even like the Tate brothers that much. I mean, I don't watch them. I see sometimes Andrew Tate tweets things and his brother tweets stuff, and I don't understand what DeSantis' problem is. If they're not charged with anything in Romania, it got dropped. Tate was born in the United States, so what's the issue? He looks like a kid being forced to go to church. Yeah, and Trump's like, you're all dressed up to go to church. Yeah, it's like Zelensky is the child coming downstairs at like 9:13 on a Sunday morning. And this is what happens. And then Trump is the dad talking to the mom.
Any clothes? How are you? Pretty shut.
He's all dressed up today.
President Trump, what's your
Oh,
message?
man. Come on. No, and then there was even another moment where he talks about this suit, and Zelensky looks really angry. Trying to find it. Well, this is Zelensky being shuffled out of the back door. Look, they have to hurry, get him out. That lady's like, leave. You've been kicked out. Somebody had to tell Zelensky, just, sir, I'm sorry, you've actually have to be removed from the premises. Tate has charges in the United Kingdom. Well, that's a big problem because it's foreign and who knows. Look at Zelensky's reaction to this. Just watch his face at the beginning.
I do like your clothing, but
Yeah, really?
even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. I don't know if you two like each other, but you know what? I think he's dressed. I think he's dressed
I like
beautifully.
this guy. I don't know
I think
him.
he's dressed beautifully.
So-
I do like your clothing, but
Yeah, really?
even though I think he's.
He's like, I'm being trolled again. The backhanded compliment from the uncle at Thanksgiving. You dressed up. Dude, what if this is what has to happen? This has to happen. Zelensky comes back to the White House on Monday, and they have the photo op where Trump greets him, and Trump says it again. He's like, oh, you really dressed up? He's like, you wore a suit for me? he's like, you're looking good, Pipsqueak. You're looking good, little boy. You just ate the hottest hot sauce in the world. Yeah, that's bad. It affects your nose. When you eat really hot sauce, it really messes with your nose. Really bad. I got attacked by a hot sauce once after I ate it. He comes back wearing a dress. He's like, you wanted me to dress up? So here I am. What if he came back with a dress and like one of those little delicate purses? He's like, you wanted me to dress up? You want me to dress up? This is what you get. Yeah, he called. You're right, Prodigy. He called Vance. He said bitch under his breath. When Vance was, yeah, you're right. Vance was starting to chew him out, and he said bitch under his breath. I mean, this is just, they might have to get rid of him and impeach him. Been enjoying MLB Arena videos and the whole Tampa Bay issue. Yeah, that's been a long going problem. It is true, dude. That is true. I have it on here somewhere. It might be up the top. The ambassador to Ukraine.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a
Thoughts on Piers Morgan crying? I mean, he's a Brit. He's angry. The United States isn't supporting this anymore. He has to understand the U.S. is in a different spot. Trump was elected to end this war. Zelensky just behaved very poorly. We were going to do a peace deal, and I think they still will. I mean, Zelensky has to sign this peace deal. There's really nothing else that can happen. How's the Epstein coin doing? It's doing very badly, honestly. We need some news to come out really bad. I just got crushed with this coin. The coin never even went to 1 million. I'm sick of getting crushed with these coins, man. I really am getting tired of it. It's Solana. Solana's been shit. I mean, this thing can't even get to 1 million. There's even with the hype. And you think it was... I mean, that's a decent looking chart. It just falls off the table because, you know, what they released was a bust. Why doesn't Pam Bondi retire? Well, I mean, it's a bit early for that, but she should have said something today for sure. How do you say you have all these files and then you don't update anyone on them? And now it's the weekend. It did hit 1 million. Yeah. Oh, it wicked to 1 million for a millisecond. How can I sell at 1 million if it's there for a millisecond? Where did you go in on the Epstein coin? Around 200, I think. Around 200K. It was just reported that Trump has backed out of the rare earth deal as of a minute ago. Well, I mean, what happens now? What happens to Ukraine now if this is true? What is this? Dude, what is this? Zuckerberg trying to go through a rebrand.
One argument for me staying alive is that it's more entertaining if I'm alive than if I'm dead.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
I just hope, but I could be alive and like injured, which suck. You know,
Right.
like the wing just like shoot my arm off or something.
Right. No, we don't want that.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Keep the security strong.
Yeah.
What does he have? Secret Service? He must have Secret Service security. I mean, he's probably got really good private security. I don't even know what Zelensky... He has to apologize. What else is going to happen here? The metaverse, yeah, the metaverse was a bust. I wonder if they'll try and create something like that. But that was a bust back in 2020, 2021. They tried to do that. That was a whole crypto narrative too. Metaverse coins. Seems like Zuckerberg's transformed. Yeah, he's definitely come off way more human. He went through, like, he changed his hair and everything, and crazy how his last name is sometimes, yeah, it's either one or two Y's. I think I just use one Y. You got SpaceX security. He's got like billionaire security. I mean, I wonder how much that impairs living, having to deal with security and stuff. How weak was the UK Prime Minister? Well, when he visited Trump. Yeah, I mean, Trump likes that guy, though. He always says, but it's like, there's nothing that's going to be accomplished with a meeting like that. All it is just a photo op. 99 times that's what it is, except for today, obviously, but they were actually trying to do a deal. It's like, yada, 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 you know, we respect the UK, we're going to continue, we're committed, and, you know, we respect NATO, whatever. NATO needs to pay their fair share. Do you think the Cavs are going to win the championship? Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if they did. I mean, traditionally with the NBA, you need like a mega star to win. The Cavs don't have that, so it's going to be hard. I think they could get to the finals at least, but you know, beating the Celtics, they're still a good team, but I don't know, they're beatable. Lakers or Clippers, are they playing? I know the Lakers with Luka have been playing well, man. Starmore hasn't put out a statement. Yeah, now the UK loves America. They now they endorse Trump. The UK after that meeting. That's on Vivek running for governor. Yeah, I mean, I want to hear what he has to say again about the H-1B stuff. It's been a real buzzkill with Vivek, honestly. I don't know. I think some of it is social media overreaction. Vivek seems like someone that can get stuff done, but the viewpoint on immigration and he said some stuff about how we're just the country's an idea and it's like this stateless attitude. It's just not. I mean, but he is a smart dude, but. What did Pam Bondi say now about the Epstein list? I honestly think it's over. No. There's going to have to, she hasn't said anything. There's going to have to be an update. They're going to have to release something. At least give us like 4 or 5 people or something. We need some hype or something. That's it. They can't just say, oh, it's done. You know, she's going to have to say something next week. You always wonder, when does the Astrodome get demolished? I think the problem with demolishing it is it costs so much money to demolish. I don't exactly know why. Maybe because it's all concrete or some shit. And then also, apparently, if they demolish it, there's something underneath the stadium. I don't know if it's water supply or something potentially would be affected, so that's why they haven't demolished it yet. Vivek went too far with the endless Indian immigration stuff. Yeah, and on top of that, he's just said stuff about the identity of the United States and the culture is just not the answers I'm looking for sure. In the video where you're talking about the Ann Selzer poll in Iowa, you said you would bet any liberal $1,000 that Trump would win it. Did anyone take you up on that bet? No one did. $1,000 to win Iowa. Yeah, that was honestly really good content too. I mean, we just everyone was like, just the insanity of that poll, and it's like $1,000 whatever to win Iowa. Seriously, I mean that poll was so rigged. It was such a rigged poll, and then she retired right after it. You know, that was towards the end of the campaign when Trump's polling numbers started to get better again, and they needed something. And so Ann Selzer, who has an amazing track record, I'm guessing Harris, they wanted to get momentum. And so what happened is they released that poll, the shocking poll, and all the liberal media. I remember Rachel Maddow talking about it. And then what they would do is, because Selzer was always right, they would say, this woman has always been right, so this is, it has to be. But yeah, she was just paid to put out a phony poll. I mean, there's no way you can poll that accurately, not even just, I think with her it was midterms as well, within a single point in like 7 straight elections and then be 16 points off. And she's like, I'm retiring anyways. She took money from the Democrats. That's what I think happened. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense any other way. If the conservative leader in Canada wins, do you think they can fix? Yeah, it would help repair the relationship with Trump for sure if the Canadian won to a degree. But honestly, I don't even know. Trump really is digging his foot in the ground on Canada. But I think it would help at least a little bit. They really have no leader right now, Canada. I mean, it's Trudeau is a lame duck. Yeah, Trump will go for Greenland. I agree. King Dakar got imploded. I heard about that. The biggest roller coaster in the world. How is that poll not election fraud? Well, it's just a poll. I mean, you could release a poll, and it was just used as a weapon by the Democrats to rally support in the final days. That's what I think. Canada Conservatives, the Canadian Conservative Party supports Zelensky, really? I mean, they're definitely more liberal than we are here as conservatives. But it's weird if you're like a Canadian conservative because you're way outnumbered, so you have to appear as moderate. That's got to be terrible. You've looked at polls. The Liberal Party is essentially tied. I don't know about that. In Canada, that seems unlikely. I know they were coming back a little bit. Greenland is there for the taking. Well, it is to a degree. It's definitely there for the taking. It's based off of the relationship Greenland has with Denmark. It's not too good. So it is basically there for the taking, especially for a country like the United States who can help it a lot more. First ever crypto summit on March 7th. These events are always. You guys remember the crypto ball and that bitch Nick O'Neill? Like, I got Trump coin. I got the interest. I got the interest in Trump coin. God, influencers like that have killed crypto. You think Zelensky will sign a ceasefire? He has no support without the United States unless Europe. But the problem is, even if Europe ups their aid packages, they're losing men. Ukraine is. They have a much smaller military than Russia does. So I don't see. Talk about Bondi sending FBI raid to New York. Is that true? Did that happen? Why can't we not just get the documents? She had to send a raid, or is that just because I saw people demanding that Kash Patel and Bondi do that? The summit, I know, dude. All of this is just such a top signal. It's just so bad. This involvement with this administration and crypto. But dude, I mean, we've been saying like. The whole thing with it being, at some point, crypto is going to become mainstream to where these can't be considered top signals just because celebrities are in it. I mean, I know what you're saying. It wouldn't become a state. Greenland would not become a state. They don't have the population. They wouldn't get statehood. They would be a territory. So it'd be like Puerto Rico. There's a 0 chance. They have 57,000 people total. With other countries voicing support, it's all bullshit, right? It doesn't matter. Like smaller European countries supporting Ukraine is meaningless. It depends on the United States relationship with Ukraine. Thoughts on the Panama Canal? Well, the Panama Canal, unfortunately, a lot of Americans don't know this, but Trump has already done something very positive there. He's, in essence, and Rubio did this, but it was Trump. He's removed a lot of he's removed a lot of the Chinese influence within the canal. They had a diplomatic relationship, both Panama and China. And that's how China exerts soft power. They buy up the ports surrounding the canal. But now I think they're being kicked out by Panama because the United States threatened to take over the canal. I think the United States is going to get a really good deal on the tolls within the canal. I don't know if they'll be taking over the canal. But the United States is basically like a puppet canal, like a puppet state, but a canal. Like, I think the United States is taking back pretty much control of it by proxy. Which previously you had China getting bigger and bigger influence within the canal zone. I mean, the canal, it's 70% of the ships, they're U.S. ships, 20% are Chinese, and then the rest, 10% are just miscellaneous. So it's U.S., these are U.S. ships, this was built by the United States, so it's just another thing Trump is doing that kind of, fortunately, goes unnoticed. If Zelensky continues the war, how many Ukrainians have to die before he gets impeached or removed? Yeah, I just don't think. To me, the way it is currently, it's not going to continue. There's going to have to be, by Ukraine, a statement that comes out tomorrow or Sunday or Monday that says, we apologize, we're sorry, we do want peace. I mean, Zelensky basically said that on Fox News. He said he's sorry. They have to put out a statement. They have to cave into the United States. They have to. That's just how this goes, based on the power dynamics. Yeah, no, you're right on that, Empire. It's they didn't care about Greenland, but now they care about it. Right, well, they want to basically extort the United States for money, so they want the United States to buy Greenland from Denmark because they want something for it, but Greenland has been a pain in the ass for Denmark. Now that Trump wants it to extort the resources, that now Greenland is all, or Denmark is all pissy about giving it up. Greenland doesn't want to be part of Denmark anyways. Is the war going to stop, you think? And yeah, I think the war stops with Ukraine very soon. Do I think there'll be nonstop flights from places like U.S. to Moscow? That was the case up until the war. It'd be restored, I would imagine. Nonstop flights from like big, like New York City, probably big time airports to Moscow. They stopped that and then didn't resume it. EU would send troops to Greenland before sending them to Ukraine. Crazy. Yeah, well, because they know it's not a threat for a wide scale escalation with Greenland. If they send troops, that's gonna be a big problem for them. They need to stay out of it. Trump really should just. I mean, we're about done with Europe at this point. They need to. The Greenland situation is very obvious. It's a United States takeover, and it's done diplomatically. But, I mean, I've already outlined it 100 times on why it just makes sense. I don't even know the arguments against it. There's not even actual legit arguments against it. Just show them the fucking poll where the people of Greenland want to be independent from Denmark. Go ahead and try and control that then. And they use this whole thing, oh, you can't take over. Well, then why do you have control of it if they want to be independent? Yeah, we're gonna fix our relationship with Russia here. We're gonna have a better relationship with them. But I mean, liberals will just call it appeasement. They're a foreign adversary. It's important to have a cordial relationship and talk to these people. You've been to Moscow, Pennsylvania? Yeah, there's definitely some Moscow cities in the United States that are named that. How's your night? My night's fine. I'm just kind of winding down. Winding down after what happened today. That was a pretty big release there. Or not release, just... I mean, we need a release is what we need. We need a release real bad. We need something. Can we get something, please? Can we get just get a crazy rumor going? Get this to like 2 million. Like a crazy rumor, some shit. Zelensky and Ukraine need to cave to the U.S. negotiations if they want to remain a country and not get 100% occupied. Yeah, well, that's what would happen inevitably. A wide majority of Ukraine would be occupied by Russia if the war continued for long enough. It's just a battle of attrition at this point. I mean, at the war, this is why they've said this has been a waste the past year and a half. And it's not a waste in the sense where Ukrainians are defending their homeland. It's a waste in the sense that nothing has changed. There could have been a peace deal a year and a half ago. But Biden didn't want to. The United States has to push the issue on this. The only way a peace deal gets done is through a Trump administration. Liberals or the liberals in Europe they don't want a peace deal. I don't know what the fuck they want. They just want to keep weakening Russia, but there's no way Ukraine can defeat Russia. It's just fool's gold. Lex Friedman is going to Moscow. He's been saying he wants to interview Putin for a while now. I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, Lex is... I don't listen to Lex, honestly. Should Trump completely cut aid to Ukraine until he signs a ceasefire or the mineral deal? Oh, absolutely. Didn't Trump just say there's no deal now? There's no mineral deal? Absolutely. The reason for the mineral deal was to continue the aid. It was mainly so Ukraine could get better negotiation leverage. From what Trump was saying, apparently it looked like Trump had caught wind of possibly Ukraine continuing the war with U.S. support, and Trump didn't want that to happen. But again, I don't know how they would continue the war with their current situation. I mean, it's not like they've got all this access of troops to be able to fight on for 4 or 5 more years. Do you think China is really going to invade Taiwan by 2027? I mean, it's impossible to predict. China's already exuding significant soft power over Taiwan. They're conducting military exercises off the island. It's a pain in the ass to deal with. I really, for Trump's sake, to me, it's a no-win situation. You're going to have to sink a ton of money into defending Taiwan. China, again, they're forcing other countries to declare Taiwan a part of China. It previously was. It's like Russia, Ukraine previously was a part of China. They controlled it. Then they had a civil war, and the losers ended up going to the island, and that's how Taiwan formed. It's if I'm Trump, I'm just like, this is honestly what I'm like. It's a horrible situation. Please don't happen under my administration. I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to. They can keep doing their soft power thing. We don't want any type of, because I don't know how much Trump is going to help Taiwan. Honestly, I really don't. And this is based off of Trump, his opinion of what he said about Taiwan, saying we need something from them. It's the America First policy where we're not just going to give foreign countries. I mean, but it's there's pros and cons. You don't want China taking over countries for nothing, but you also don't want to give Taiwan a bunch of shit and get nothing in return. I don't know. I mean, how do you? I mean, apparently the Taiwan Strait it's hard to maneuver. It'd be hard to. It's hard to do an invasion. You know, the entire eastern side of Taiwan is just like a cliff, but they wouldn't be invading the eastern side. Apparently, they would just drop they'd missile strike a lot of the cities before they do any type of land invasion. Yeah, Musk is, people overrate how influential Musk is within the campaign. He's cutting certain things, and it all goes through Trump anyways. It all goes through the Trump administration on the things they decide to cut. Musk just owns Twitter, so he owns X, so you're gonna see everything that Musk does. It's all gonna be out there because he likes the propaganda. I don't know how much money they've saved. I mean, what is it? What is the Doge number at? Like 70 or 80 billion? What does Trump have to do to hold talks with Iran, another adversary? Would be good to rely on more oil. We don't need oil from the Middle East at all, man. We don't need oil from the Middle East. In the 21st century, we don't need oil from the Middle East. We have no reliance on the Middle East for oil. And that's another thing. It's like, well, we need involvement in the Middle East. We don't. Not for oil. Not for anything, but I would love to just leave Iran alone, but I don't know. Iran is angry because Trump assassinated one of their leaders in 2020. What do you think of a U.S. and Russia relationship? I think it's a good idea. Don't be gaslit by liberals who say that we're enabling Russia. This is important, to have a relationship with a foreign adversary who the previous administration refused to talk to. You know, when you don't talk, bad things happen. Biden refused to talk to Putin. You need to talk to these people. Bad stuff's going to happen. It's better to have a good relationship. And the thing is, with something like this with Russia, we're already way more powerful than Russia anyways. And with the amount of stuff that they've got, this is an economic relationship where we're probably going to extract significant rare earths in the newly occupied, which is going to be an annexed area of Ukraine, the Donbass region, which I do think is going to be annexed by Russia. It's part of the peace agreement that is going to be happening. This whole mess started with NATO slowly expanding. Well, yeah, and then, you know, Ukraine was, even after the fall of the Soviet Union, Ukraine was a puppet state, and then 2014 happens, and they try and partner and join NATO, and that's when they become more of a Western country, and obviously Russia's not going to be happy about that. You're losing global footprint. You're a superpower that's losing global footprint. Of course you're not going to be happy. Imagine the United States loses Alaska, or it's just like, it's... And I'm not trying to defend what Russia's doing. This is just what it is. It's a historical thing. Trump visits North Korea before 2026. You really can't predict things like that. You're talking about this year. I mean, I think Trump wants to have a relationship that's diplomatic with Kim Jong-un, and so he might visit North Korea again. He did back in like 2017, 2018. America, Canada, Mexico, South America all have plenty of oil. Yeah, especially Canada. And also the United States as well. We have enough oil here. There shouldn't be a single person that justifies U.S. involvement in the Middle East based around oil. That shouldn't happen in the 21st century. Not with renewable energy, not with the oil reserves we have. Do you like Musk? I mean, Musk is what he is. He helped Trump. There's no doubt about that. It's hard to really... I mean, Musk is very, very wealthy, so it's like, you can't really trust Musk 100%. This stuff he has said... There's an identity problem with Musk and what he said about the H-1B stuff, and he kind of crashes out sometimes. He's got, like, autism and stuff, and I understand, but... He has, like... I think I call it with Musk, it's episodes. He'll have episodes where he just goes crazy, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. You think a Russia-U.S. relationship could counter China? Well, I think the idea is to, and this would be so big by Trump, to stop, which seems like the most obvious counter to NATO, which would be China-Russia. And then you bring in some of the power from the Middle East. You bring in North Korea if you're Russia-China. I mean, they have BRICS, but that's not... It wouldn't be on the level of like a rivaled actual military relationship that they could create. So I think the point would be, if you could rally Russia and alienate them against China, that would be ideal. You want to keep Russia and China away from each other in a potential World War III scenario. Originally, Putin asked Clinton if Russia could join NATO, but he basically turned him down and denied him, I'm sure. Right, 2014, the year the U.S. effed around in Ukraine. Well, yeah. And how about all the stuff from 2014, 2015 that the Biden family retroactively can't be pardoned, can't be charged with? They made it go back to 2014. How do you go back 11 years on a pardon? Yeah, I keep getting asked if I have autism. I don't have that. People always... That's the thing. It's like they accuse everyone of having that now. Do you think Don Jr. helped Andrew Tate come to America? Yeah, there's people within the Trump administration that certainly helped Tate. It was already reported on that. I don't know why people were denying it. I mean, look, the Tate people, it's... I don't watch them. I guess they have some charges in the UK. People are telling me. I don't know. Space travel is pointless. Well, it's pointless when you don't have the technology. It becomes a pain in the ass to accomplish, but that's part of human evolution. I mean, the computer was pointless when it took up an entire room. It takes time to perfect these things. But I mean, space travel with our current technology is there's not much to it, just because we can't go anywhere. Yeah, I don't think Andrew Tate's gonna be meeting with Trump. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea, man. That's another headache thing to deal with if you're Trump, if that happened. I think people within the Trump team like Tate, and so that's why he got brought back, and now he's in Florida. In World War III, you think China would most likely just focus on the Pacific? Well, it'd be an interesting World War III scenario, but I mean, if they just focus on the Pacific, which I agree with you, they're certainly exuding a lot of soft power on a lot of those islands. But would it really be World War III if it's localized to the Pacific? I mean, China is like the #1 adversary to the U.S. I mean, if you can get Russia and China separated, I mean, how does World War III... I'm not sure it really... I mean, North Korea, I think, is going to do something at some point. I don't know what. They're going to do something, though. They're a ticking time bomb. Not that they really have the technology, but... Is New Hampshire the best state in the country? I mean, New Hampshire is, it's... I've never been there. I can't tell you if it's the best state. I mean, is that where you're from? New Hampshire is a weird one, man. There's nothing more important than space technology and figuring out how the universe works. You get overwhelmed by the universe. It's impossible to describe. I was watching a video. The video was like traveling to the end of the universe. I've been watching Prometheus again. Space travel is just insane. Yeah, it's indescribable. You really think we're going to get something this weekend on the Epstein files? Because you think... I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen this weekend. I mean, then normally it'd be like a Monday or something, but... Pam Bondi needs to come out and say something about this, and my hope is she just drops a bunch of stuff, and then that creates like a FOMO event with this coin. But sorry for asking about autism. I mean, it's seems like a lot of people get asked about that. I don't know, man. Lots of coping about Epstein files. Yeah, I mean, these conservative influencers are just like the dumbest thing imaginable. They're like, oh, we got him. We got the files. Yeah, you got him. You got me minus $5,000. That's what you got me. No, it's not a bear market. This is a correction. This is not a bear market. If you look at the Bitcoin chart, it's still good. It's still really good. Some of the alts have gotten hammered, though. Yes, a lot of the smaller alts have gotten crushed. But to me, this is just a correction for Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is still hanging out around 80. It always has one big correction during a bull run. Longer than usual stream? No, I mean, this is pretty normal. It's about 2 hours. Got home from work. What's up, D-Money? What's up, man? Houston Texans want a new arena. Well, they want a new stadium. Arenas are NBA. Stadiums are MLB, NFL. But, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. You know how these things, it's going to be 2 or 3 years. They'll go through some process where they demand money, and then it'll happen or it won't happen, or they'll get a renovation or some shit. I mean, the stadium stuff, it's the same thing. It's the same thing over and over again with these cities. But they're demanding one. Their stadium's 22 years old. But it doesn't surprise me that they're demanding it. Mars is probably not real. No, it's definitely real. The livability of it is... I mean, it just has a surface, and it's... you could potentially live there. But it's like Mars is a square peg into a round hole, but it's closest to us and it has a surface. I mean, and if you wear a suit, it's somewhat, but it's certainly not where you would want to be creating. It's not the ideal creation for us, living in another planet. But I mean, Musk is obsessed with his legacy. He wants to go down as like a almost like a superhuman. So Musk is really, he knows the achievement of Mars is extremely important. His SpaceX will beat NASA there for sure. It's just he's obsessed with it. He'll get it done. And that's a legacy thing to get to Mars and to have Musk say it was him and he wants that. I know. The Duke team looks good for the tourney. I mean, they're playing a horrible conference, though. It's hard with Duke. The ACC is so bad. Look at the RS. I mean, there's always indicators, man. It's like you're using indicators that you're talking about 2017, 2021. It's a different time, man. It's really a different time for crypto. It's the mainstreamness of crypto is way bigger. I mean, maybe I'm coping, but it just seems like Bitcoin, there's no way its top was 100K. Maine governor is pissed at Trump. That woman is a buffoon. Is she seriously dying on the trans sports hill? Is that what that is? Is Kristi Noem still governor of South Dakota? Yeah, she's in the Trump administration now. She's a secretary or some shit. Various space experts say Titan, the moon of Saturn, yeah. They got like methane gas lakes. I mean, that's definitely one of the most popular moons we have. It's Titan. They sent probes to Titan, I was reading. You get recommended these different space things now. I've been watching some videos. Yeah, Zelensky, he would refuse to wear a suit on Mars. That's true. What do I think of Candace Owens? I mean, obviously she's gone a certain route in terms of her content. Kind of split up from. I didn't think she should have been fired from Daily Wire, but that's quite honestly the Israel stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think she's fine. I think she kind of scaled back her content because she has a family now. Which, that's respectable. I mean, peace deal is way more important than for just Ukraine. North Korea provided troops to Russia, some sort of alliance. And yeah, no. You are right on that. North Korea did provide troops to Russia. And again, that's like the whole axis idea of North Korea, Iran, China, Russia. So you would want to kind of thwart that relationship, or at least have more of a cordial relationship with both North Korea and Russia to avoid an East versus West deadly war. Candace Owen says edgy stuff to stay relevant. Yeah, well, there's a dynamic with all of that type of... You know, I've noticed a certain thing with, you know, a lot of Israel hate. Thoughts on Andrew Tate saying he's going to meet the Trump family? Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea for Trump. Gavin Newsom should resign. Isn't Gavin Newsom going to be done in 2026, his term? I don't think he's going to resign. The wildfire situation. Yeah, I mean, with Newsom, it was really bad, but he was saying the hydrants had no water pressure. That's why they didn't run out of water. The hydrants had no pressure because they were all being used. Newsom didn't have the problem with Newsom was, and they tried to hide this, but because of a native reservation, he didn't have reserves filled up properly. And he actually, because of, like, this one fish for the natives, he saved the one, like, bass or some bullshit. I don't remember what it was. It was like carp. Like these carp fish, they were saved because there's no reservoir. And there, you know, there was like reservoirs that were not even filled at all. No Epstein files. Well, Pam Bondi's gonna have to say something. She's gonna say something. So when she says something, it might just be time to just hopefully get like hopefully get something and then just get out. Perhaps North Korea needs to make concessions, but what? No, North Korea. I mean, they're not going to do anything. North Korea wanted to get closer to Russia, so they did a good gesture of sending troops. The problem with North Korea, it's kind of like every country just lets North Korea, because I mean, that is a big thing. You're involving troops from a foreign country into this war, but everyone kind of treats North Korea like, all right, let's not take what North Korea does as an escalation. They're fucking crazy. People are like, all right, no, you know, it doesn't mean we need to escalate this further. Caroline Levitt. I mean, yeah, she's pretty attractive, I guess. Pam Bondi looks a lot younger. I mean, a lot of it's the makeup, but yeah, she looks a lot younger than 60. Hess, Bondi, Smash, Levitt. Yeah, if it was between those two, well, Levitt is pretty young. She's like in her 20s. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about what you know. This guy is whoa. Yeah, this is not. I think Trump needs to say, you know, it's probably not a good idea here to do this for, you know, this is not a good idea. This is not a very good idea. Trump needs to have media people understand. Newsom starting his own podcast, yeah. Newsom. And it's such a bullshit podcast, too. It's just the anti-Rogan podcast. We're going to be hip and cool. We're going to talk to all different people. They're trying to do the Rogan 2.0. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this stream. I'm going to head on off. That was a good stream. A lot of random people in there at the beginning, but that's the thing with streams, man. It's like streams are so, it's the kiss of death. You get a lot of views and then the chat turns to crap. It really is the kiss of death. Like, it's more enjoyable when it's like 400 or 500 people or 300 people. Then when it gets to be more, you want more views, you want more donations, things like that. But then it's like every other comment is just all right, guys, I'll be seeing you. Good night.